to have guest speakers. So I'm going to introduce you to our guest speaker, and then she's going to be taking over talking to you about what an architect does. Okay? So in the back of the room, if you would look back there, this is Mrs. Cologne. She is an architect here in town, and so she's going to talk about what her job responsibilities are, some things that she had to do to prepare to become an architect, and then also what an architect actually does. Okay? So as part of her lesson with you today, you're not going to listen to her talk the whole entire time. You're actually going to do some fun activities. So she's going to be teaching you some very important concepts that are going to be applied to the rest of our unit. Okay? So it's not just all fun and games. You are going to be held responsible for what she is instructing you on today. Okay? So does anyone have any questions at this point? All right. Oh, Thomas, sorry. She'll talk about that. Okay. But thank you for thinking ahead. Okay. So, Mrs. Cologne.
Those are just things I brought from the office. There's resources that we use, samples and materials that we use in the office. We have a big room and library. You can play with them, pass them along. You know, it's just great that you can just see what we have. So, do you know what is architecture? Have you heard about it before? Yes. Yeah. Imagine Mrs. Hoffman explained a little bit about what architecture is. So anyway, all right. So architecture is what you're sitting in. It's the room and the building you're sitting in right now. It's where the cafeteria is in relation to this classroom. It's where your library is in relation to this classroom. And an architect is the person who designs this, is the person who decides the library is going to go with that certain spot, and the cafeteria there, and the classrooms, how many classrooms, and how big. It's a lot of functional art. So you get some creative leeway, but it has to be functional because you have to be able to use it, right? So you'll see, I think, through the unit about the history of architecture, and you'll see things like this. Can you guys see for me? Pass them. All right.
That other cord was for the speakers.
Oh, that's the speakers?
Yeah.
I'll need it later then. Buildings like this, have any of you traveled to any of the big cities? Yeah? New Orleans. New York. Right. So all those skyscrapers, that's architects and engineers and city planners. So when you're an architect, you have to work as a team with different people because you might know how to coordinate and manage all these different people. What is it?
Do you have, like when you're drawing out your building, you have to do linear perspective?
Yep. You do a lot of just freehand drawing, and you do a lot of technical drawing where the drawing has to be perfect and to scale. So if I draw one of your tables and I draw it this long, we use an architect scale, and we have to be able to measure it. It has to be 6 feet, but that's small. So do this. These are just some images of a lot of big architecture, some that you might have seen, some that you haven't, famous architects. So going to the drawings, the technology that we use. Nowadays, we don't have to use our hands all that much anymore. We use computer drawings, AutoCAD, Revit. These are some of the other resources. We use the laser printers and big plotters for big size sheets of drawings to scale. So we use Illustrator, we do renderings. Do you guys know taking an image, a drawing of your building, and making it look like real life. So that when you present it to any commissioners or anybody who, the builders, they can see, oh, this is how it's going to look like, and you're going to have a more realistic idea of what it is, and not just a black and white drawing. All right, so let's just go real quick over this background of what it takes to be an architect. It's education and your college. It does need a college degree, at least an undergrad, bachelor's of 5 years. You can do a bachelor in anything and then do a master's in architecture. That's what I did. You can't see them. But there's some regional and local universities here. We don't have an accredited program here in Wyoming, but there is in Montana, in Colorado, and the states surrounding us. I did my undergrad in the University of Puerto Rico. That's where I'm from. So I first studied architecture there, and then I came to the States. I went to Washington, D.C. and got my master's in architecture. And then moved all the way out here to do my internship. And to become an architect, once you do your degree, you have to do some interning. And they pay you for it, and it's about 3 years of doing internship and working with the firm. That's the process that I'm in right now, working with the firm and getting real-life experience. And always make sure that this college is accredited. That's down the line for you guys, but it's something to look into. All right. So who do we work with? What can you work as when you become an architect? You can be an interior designer. You can do graphic design. You can do project management. You can be an urban planner. And you're versatile. Architecture, I find a very versatile field because you already know how to design. You just apply it to anything and everything. So this is just an example of our work at GST Architecture, which is where I'm working right now. This is the Boys and Girls Club. Have any of you been there? Yeah, some of you? All right. So that GST Architecture design is the firm that I work in. And this here to the left is a rendering. So we put in the people, we put in the plantings, and we make it look real. And it's all computer generated. And for the contractors, and in order for it to be built, we have to produce very detailed drawings of this. And these drawings are to scale. So when I say to scale, again, it's making that table smaller, but that you can actually measure it. It's the same relationship to all the other objects around you. These are a couple more. This is a photograph of before and after the renovation and the interior. So all these drawings, those renderings, allow us to do this, actually build our environment around us. And you know what I like most about architecture? Is that we can decide how we want to live, where we want to, how we want to go to school and study, how we want to work, your house, your room, where it is in relation to the bathroom. Do you like it close to the bathroom? Or far? Do you want to have to share a bathroom or not? You know, all those decisions is what an architect does. And we decide, you know, taking into account what the users, you guys or myself do, what we want to do in that space and how we want to use that space. So this going into the first activity, I'm going to have you guys do some sketching, and we're going to draw an elevation, a floor plan, and a section. So an elevation is when you see the building from the front. The first thing you see when you come into the school, that front wall, that's an elevation, and that's what you're going to draw. example of an elevation. And we have to draw these for the contractors and to be able to sell our projects so that the city allows us, give us the permission, the permits to be able to build. We have to show them what it's going to look like in relation to what's surrounding it. The other one is the floor plan. So how you see it from above, what's the relationship of this room to the next room, and to the following, and to the building as a whole. And to be able to describe it, you make it detailed. So you say where the windows are going to be, where your doors are, where your furniture might be. The furniture is more to say, this room we're going to use it as a classroom versus this room we're going to use it as an office. And then a section. Have you guys seen any of these type of drawings before? No? All right. You'll see plenty of these if you ever decide to go into architecture field or any design field. You're going to be drawing all the time. And forget about math and forget about all the other things. It's drawing. And as long as you can draw and have a good eye to explain your goal and what you want with your design, you'll be fine. You will have to take math and all the physics and biology and all the other courses, but the main thing is to be able to explain and show what your intention is. So the sections are cutting through the building. So imagine cutting the building right through this classroom all the way through. So you see that window with the roof and the ceiling. You see that wall. You see the floor and the ground underneath the floor. You make it with a very dark line to make it stand out that that's the end of the building on the bottom. And you show what's inside. You show this casework, this table and all. So, for the first activity, what I want you to do is take a pepper, and we're going to draw an elevation of it. I want you guys to see it from the side, and draw as much detail as you can into that elevation. As soon as I put the peppers on, you can start drawing, just detail it, make the shadows, make the indentations with the pepper. What do you see? Alright, you guys can share.
Could be using your pencil.
Just look at it from where you are.
Draw big, so we can see it.
Put in as much detail as you can to that side of the pepper, that plain side. Oh, not yet. You're going to draw it first.
That's what Thomas just asked.
Oh,
He said, not right now, you have to draw it first.
Should have got the mini peppers. They're so much better.
They taste good, that's for sure. So you see those indentations? Draw that. Just do it quickly. You can just, you don't have to think about it. Draw the outside, but draw in the details. You're going to see that little stone coming out, those curves. So just draw that. It is, isn't it? Short. Do we draw the... You don't have to. That's your choice. How much detail are you going to put in? Maybe it could be a window in your future.
A bell pepper can be a window.
No, it's bigger. Use your imagination.
I was like,
I don't know. Maybe if it's a building that can be a little see-through window, maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's just
did you get things?
something you have to just peel off and draw it. You know, but think about the shadows. Be very base on the bottom. Don't think about it too much. You can just draw it quickly, what you see, your first impressions.
Do you have to like just draw the front where we're looking at it?
Yeah, from the side that you're looking at it. And it's not in perspective. So in a little bit, these drawings, when you're doing architectural drawings, you don't draw them in perspective. Do you guys know what perspective is? No? Alright, so if I stand right here and I want to draw that screen, the projector, I see that the right-hand side is smaller than the left-hand side because it's in perspective. So you will see it. You can sort of, when you draw perspective, you can put a point. It's a focus, I guess, point, and then draw lines, and you will see that that side is smaller. And you will see, I can see some of the side and the back of the screen. So that is perspective. Now, if I want to draw do an architectural drawing, and not show it in perspective, you just want it to be 2D, you show everything equal. So the two sides are the same exact size. And the bottom and the top are exactly the same length. And you just see what's in front of you. You don't see what's in the back or anything. So that's what you draw.
So you can't see anything past like this between my hands. That's all you see.
So it's almost like you're crouching down, seeing the pepper from this perspective. And you just draw exactly straight what you see. So that's very good, but that's a perspective. So when you're drawing a elevation, and it's an architectural drawing, you've got to give them information. So you're giving them sizes, and you draw it exactly as if that's not at your level. All right. So you draw exactly what you see there. You don't see the top, you don't see the bottom, you see sort of the outlines, and you draw what's right in front of you without any depth. Because you're trying to give them as much information in terms of the sizes. We're not worrying about scale at this time, but on the drawing, you don't have to be a great drawer. You just have to express.
Can understand, I thought I had, what, can I draw? Like, not very good at this.
Start over. Don't worry about fixing that. Do it
Mine
from
looks
the
like,
side.
I don't know. Like,
You can draw. What do you
You're
see?
recording.
You see sort of this outline. You might see this a little bit.
they have your,
You know there's stuff in the back, but you don't see it, so you don't draw it.
so I do that?
Yeah, just the side. Right here. So, yeah, that's right.
I've never liked drawing.
Yeah, you can.
Never liked drawing something super hard.
Like a bell pepper. I could probably draw that box of crackers or whatever.
Probably draw something else and not do.
It ran away.
It has full butts.
I can't do this. I can't draw.
Doesn't matter if you can draw or not.
This is
Drawing takes so much time for us. I mean,
There we go.
cold.
We have to draw this.
You have to cut it. No, don't cut up in the butt.
I just want to see Mrs. Me. I'm gonna be right here. Can we cut this one?
Not just yet. Wait for instructions, and I will tell you what we're gonna do next. You see
I bet I could just rip it apart right now.
this outline because the bathroom.
It's like,
I know there's bathrooms we're gonna like that. And you see these outlines on the bottom,
how do you know that? How do you know that?
and that's what you're
Everybody
drawing.
knows.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Everybody knows.
You're doing good. But that's what you try to see, so you need to move it
Let me
to
see
where,
it. Jacob Bryson.
yeah, I know.
Jacob Edward Bryson.
And this side, a little pepper is organic,
Cut.
like I was explaining to you.
Honey, did you like my bell pepper?
Equal on every side, it has to be like the real thing. We're drawing that.
How are you?
This architect lady,
Yeah,
what is it?
sorry, what's that?
I can't read.
I introduced her, her name is Cologne. So, that is material, and you really use that and you put it at the window, you can't see out, so you let the light in. And they're great.
I'm gonna eat this all, okay?
Yeah, I know, they're good to eat though.
You get the top and I am the
You get the bottom.
So how long has she been out here?
No, it has two buttons.
Okay. Nice.
Has one.
Not the only one, that's good.
Two
Not
pairs.
just me and my sister.
I did the bottom.
Alright, I think I got it.
That's our bottom.
I didn't get the bottom.
Alright, what we're gonna do next is somebody,
She's not. Looking at it.
alright, we're gonna move on to the next one, fellas.
Bottom, you
We're
get,
gonna
no,
take
no, that, yeah,
the
I'll
pepper.
keep
Can
top.
everybody see me?
No.
Yes. I can
Alright?
see.
And we're gonna take, one of you on the table can take the knife and cut in this direction. All the way through.
Just cut the top off?
Just cut right in the middle, horizontally.
Horizontally.
So I'll do one. That's right.
Can I like?
Alright? So what you're gonna have are two halves, the top half and the bottom half. Alright? Don't be afraid, just cut through it. It's not gonna break or anything. All the way through.
Dude, I want to eat this too, huh? It looks so good.
And now what I want you to draw.
Like, eat this.
Now you have to draw the inside.
I draw the
You
inside.
just drew the outside, now you're drawing the inside. It looks like on the inside. Are we doing straight down? How are you doing? To the
So we're
side?
gonna go straight down. This is what you're gonna draw.
Okay.
So if you had the pepper and you're looking at it from the top, you can imagine that's the floor plan. You can move it, of course, because it's small and you can just adjust it to where you are. But what I want you to draw is everything you see in there. Again, no perspective. Sorry, you said. Oh, flower. Yeah. So let's say this is one bedroom, this is one of your classrooms, this one is another one, another one, another one. And this one is the office.
Or it could be like a house. The living room, the bedroom, the bathroom, kitchen.
Exactly.
I'm a
Perfect.
very bad drawer.
Perfect, perfect. So just draw. Exactly. Very nice. Oh, that doesn't matter. Don't you worry. Just draw what you see.
Can we eat
Express.
them at the end?
Oh, man.
it's good to eat. Have some rice or taste. Get some ranch. Eat it. So you got bottom like that? Wait, let me see your bottom. That's right. Let me see your bottom. No, just let me see your bottom.
Yeah, they do. We're not eating them just yet.
No, I'm gonna see if it fits back on.
You're gonna make another cup? I want to eat it already.
I'm just gonna make a big triangle.
Let me see it.
I just want to go. Miss Meeks, is that your drawing?
So this is what I want you to draw. Okay, very good.
I want to see if this can go on top. Like, fit perfect. Here's my top. You have to figure out.
You off the foot, but nice. Just pull the seeds out and eat all the exterior parts. But right now what I want you to do is to just draw what you see from this perspective, from this point of view.
There you go.
No, let's see. Let me see.
No.
But imagine
Dig up.
you're looking at it.
This is gonna be weird.
You want to stand up.
No, why do you put it upside down? I don't need that.
Bird's eye view.
You weirdo. The table's dirty.
What do you see in there?
It's supposed to be dirty.
Do you see any other
Well, it's not supposed to be clean, but still.
So the idea is that you're looking at a building from the top and you cut it first.
I wash my bottom.
What are you doing? I told her I get top and she gets bottom.
That's weird, huh?
I think it looks like pepper.
Seeds. It looks so delicious.
So that's what you see.
Yep.
The seeds, the core, and the outside. Now, in
Ours
architecture,
is weird. This is special.
you don't have this. So in architecture, when you want a contractor to see to build off of your drawings, you need to give them exactly what you see. So you can't make abstract drawings for contractors unless you're going to have them draw. Build this little wall column here, holding nothing, and then a wall over here, doing nothing. So you want to make it make sense, right? Unless you're somebody like Frank Gehry. Have you heard of Frank Gehry?
They're going to.
They will? Well, when you hear Frank Gehry, you'll see these very abstract things.
That's how we're gonna finish the unit with
Yeah.
him. Doing a relief sculpture out of wood in this style.
Nice. Yeah, he's very abstract. But in order for his abstract stuff to be real, you have to draw them in real life.
My mom would do that too. So that I like was drawing those like true strawberries too, so I had to do all the seeds.
All right. So we're going to move on to the next one. So I totally screwed up, but that's all right. We're going to take one of your halves, and we're going to cut it in half again, but this time vertically. So this time we're going to cut it this way. Yeah, you can cut them both. You can just cut it vertically this way. Alright? This way.
So like
I
that?
never thought bell peppers would be so wrong.
I'll be right there.
Sam, I never thought bell peppers. It feels
So like
squishy.
this.
Yeah, just like that. And this time, what you're going to draw is what you see here. So that is a section.
Oh, okay.
So originally it was cut it the whole thing. Exactly.
You guys have a lot of seeds like this.
That's good too, eat them.
Exactly.
These ones do.
Mine has nothing. Why'd you cut straight? straight down vertically.
No, we just couldn't.
Wait, let's try and put that together.
So now, what you're gonna draw is the section, you're gonna draw it from the side, from the vertical cut.
I'm supposed to draw a hole.
Just like that. So you're gonna see it from the side. So you're gonna see the exact same.
Now, how are you doing the section?
So when you're cutting the roof,
Okay.
Looks so good to me now.
Is that how you're gonna do it? I need to do one of the
that
more.
is the section that you're cutting vertically. So
See,
you're
these
cutting
are little sponges.
all along this wall and all this running through.
No, don't touch my hole.
So how's this? There's a section, and you're cutting it vertically.
Okay, so I'm gonna borrow one to draw.
So you're looking at it from this side. So like that, exactly how you have it. I put it upside down just because it was easier to fold.
Did we cut this wrong? Yes. Shut up.
I never thought bell peppers could be so long.
Oh, okay. You lay.
All right.
Yeah, we're good.
You cut yours. All right. Good.
You need another piece of paper down here. You know where they are in the tray. Help yourself. There. What are you doing?
I think mine looks like a giant pretzel.
The idea is that one object, you're seeing it in different ways from three different points of view. Yes, we know. And I have the one that you can draw. This one.
Well, I got another one.
Well, they give some
Let me see that one.
ideas,
I'm gonna cut that one in half.
but that's the idea.
I wanna cut it. Let me just cut it, Jacob Riley.
When you're cutting it vertically.
Jacob Edward Riley. Let me see that one.
It's easier with the whole.
No, that one's that one. Your name is Isaac,
The
not
idea
Jacob.
is
What's my middle
that you
name?
see this side.
No.
I don't know then.
But if you cut it horizontally, and you cut it just vertically.
What? Everybody knows my last name.
You mean your middle name, right, Isaac?
Yeah, my middle name, my bad.
Can I cut this one in
Isaac's middle name is Ray.
Is it Anthony?
Ray.
I thought you said Edward.
All right.
Mine's Edward, yeah.
So this is what an architect needs to do in order for their building to be built,
May.
their design to be built.
Mine looks
Sam May Wood. Sam May Wood.
Ow!
That's not
Jacob Riley.
2008.
Wait, mine's no, you get the crack. No, Jacob. Gosh. This kid.
So who do we work with? Who do architects work with? I asked this, we work with
Bob the Builder.
You've got two sets.
Bob the Builder.
Bob the Builder. Who is Bob the Builder?
Construction worker.
It's a contractor.
Got shot by the yeah.
So you work with contractors, very good. And who else do you work with? City planners, excellent. Who else do you work with?
Engineers.
And who do the contractors hire to actually build?
Are these for a break?
The laborers, right? You need a carpenter, you need a mason.
Electrician.
You might need a chemist, you might need a biologist if you're building a lab.
I want to see one of those.
The trade workers, the planners, you got it.
I think drawing buildings would be easier than drawing buildings.
By what? Drawn by what?
These are
Drawing
spicy.
a building would be
A little bit.
Oh,
Taste a little tang.
in my mind, yeah.
Can you taste a little tang, spice?
or just say, can I do it?
Just taste a little hard. You can taste the spice coming.
You know what I did actually? I built a model on sand. My professor in college has all of those dimensions from curriculum. And we had to build a scale model in the
I do.
That'd been fun.
That was
Are you married to someone?
Like I do. Alright, no.
Do we have to cut them again?
No. So now the peppers are all drawn out. You can eat them or do whatever you want with them.
Okay, so 8th graders, please listen. You guys have drawn 3 parts of the pepper. Okay? Looking up on the whiteboard. You did direct observation of looking at the whole pepper. Okay? Getting the main shape, the main contours. Then the pepper was cut in half. Okay, the inside of the pepper, like the inside of a building. Seeing where that space is. So here's mine with it just cut in half. Okay? And then this cut vertically. Alright? So, you should be able to see different views. That's what an architect does. They see all different views. I told you guys last time that you need to start looking with your eyes lots better and noticing things. Okay? In drawing and designing anything, you guys are going to see lots more things and be able to do lots more. Okay? So you guys did pretty good. I'm pretty impressed with some of the drawings. Alright? You
Yeah,
guys
they're
are given
awesome.
the directions that you may eat the pepper now, but don't eat the seeds. Okay? And usually you don't eat this strong veins, the white part.
I
Okay?
didn't do that. I took that out.
You don't want to get a bellyache. We need for you guys to be here tomorrow. Okay? Jason.
I know.
Where's the chair? I feel like man versus
This
wild.
that's explaining what design is.
You don't like white things. It's like a cracker. You don't need that white part of the orange.
I never did that either.
These are furniture
Design
designs.
is imagination, and if you can imagine something, you can make it happen. And if you have a good idea, you can convince other people of that good idea.
There's also moments of, that's the idea, time to go. Let's try this, let's build this. Let's see if it crashes on top of me, or let's see if I can actually get through it.
Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it takes forever, sometimes it never happens. Let's face it, we all have stuff in the drawer we don't want to show anybody. And then there's the other stuff that museums accept in their collection. Terrific.
There's one German word, it's called einfach. It's simple, but not too simple.
If you're a curious person like I am, you're constantly chewing away on this visual language that surrounds you.
So a great meal is not just great food, but it's great companionship. A great piece of design is something that allows people to be together.
I would never do any sketching in advance. I worked directly from my head to the finished piece. I would just dream about it.
When we're working through the design process, which is very much a series of conversations, what comes out of it is a sense of equilibrium, because the process, the result, essentially is holding those two points of view. Some of the best parts.
Alright, so
Me too.
what do we want to accomplish when we design something? It can be a building, it can be a piece of furniture. What do we want to be able to do? So you want it to be functional, because you want to be able to design a chair that you can sit in. You don't want to design a chair that you can't sit in. What if you design a chair and it has a bunch of prickly things, and when you sit in it, it just, with a lot of pins, and it just pinches you when you sit in it. Is it comfortable? Or do you want to sit in that chair every day for 8 hours a day? Or how about if you design a chair that is completely vertical and it has no place to sit? Is that really a chair?
They could be torture machines.
Oh, that's good.
But then you're designing torture machines and not a chair. So you have to design with a purpose.
They could be two in one.
Right? What is your purpose with design? That brings a great point. So what is your intent? What is your Do you want to design a chair? Do you want to design a torture machine or a combination? Do you want to design a building or a non-building, just an open space? You always have to have an intent, a purpose, and say why, and answer why. Why did you do that? Why did you make it that shape? I'm so not used to maths.
I didn't. I just went up straight up and ate it all. I didn't care. I just ate it straight up.
I bet you know these people very well. This is Apple. They are the ones that design your Mac, the iPhones, iPads, iPods, and they put a lot of thought behind your design. They wanted to do that, right? So that's their design process.
Sam, just wait. Thank you.
All right. Good. So, let's see. What do you guys design on a daily basis? What do you guys do in your notebooks every day? We doodle.
We write.
And why do you choose to doodle in the left top corner of your notebook instead of right in the middle? Or why do you choose in the middle?
So that we can take notes.
So that's, you can call that graphic design. There's a reason why you're doodling on the edges and not in the center. So there's a purpose. Let me see, when you build a snowman, are you designing? Yeah, you're telling, well, I want 3 balls or I want 4 balls to make the snowman. I want the mouth to be this way or not. And you have to deal with the material. It's snow, so you have to know that the best snow is when it's a little bit wet and sticky. A little bit hard so that they can stay in shape. So every day you guys are designing, you're making choices for a reason, and you could say that is part of designing. You just have to take it all the way through and say why and how you're going to accomplish that design. All right, so next we're setting up for the next activity, and what I want you to do, we're going to make 6 groups, and what I want you to do is to build a small chair with the materials that you have. You can only use the materials you have. You have graham crackers. It could be like, maybe what could graham crackers simulate? Could that be panels? Maybe? A flat surface? Maybe? How about pretzels? What could pretzels be? Pretzels be lumber, and you have only a limited amount of pretzels, so you have to use them wisely. What does icing look like?
Glue.
It's glue, so it can be cement. snow, so it holds together. You have to be able to see how much of it can you actually put together so that it holds your materials all together. So you're going to have the limited amount of materials, and you're going to, in a team, build a small chair. And you want to design it, think of it as being practical. You want it to look cool too, so what qualities do you want it to have? Think about that. All right.
Just where they are.
Where they are.
This one for table.
Also, guys, before you start this, do you usually design by doing something before you start building?
Yeah.
What do?
We draw.
Right. So you need to be working as a team. Not one person does all the work. And you need to communicate with one another. Come up with some possible options and then decide as a team what you think will be best based on what your requirements are. Okay?
Right. Now that's a very good point she brought up. So you can sketch out your ideas, and then.
Why don't we do that?
How big do they need?
4.
That's gross.
You're going to do some sketches and come up with ideas. And
Well, if you put it in the back,
Even when I'm like just walking past them, I don't have cats. I have dogs.
We're done with this.
Okay, Jacob, John's chair. I think it should be like 2 pencils and 2 pencils and 2 pencils, 2 pencils. But they should be a little bit.
Okay, you need to work together as a team to figure out how to do this. This is your work team.
Okay, so we'll break this in half, right? And no, I don't know. Okay, like that.
Together. Here's another group here.
why can't we just put all?
Your idea? Don't start eating it before finish.
Mrs. Husband, Mrs. Last. Okay, we got one more slide. Okay. Hey, I'll see you both put each other on here.
And make it fluffy and
Chair.
Not in talk.
trying to get down there. Simple chair design, and what does that mean? Simple
Don't break a pencil.
Is it all pretzel or is it? There you go. So you got to come together. Is that reasonable? Does it sound like a good design? And try it out and see. And sometimes in drawing you just need to see, okay, well that sounds like a good idea. You start building it and then you say, well, actually let's change this. Let's put this some other way.
So we get together.
Choose one and eat them, I guess, if they're done.
I ate them.
That's
This
all
one fell on
mine.
the
Good job.
What is it?
small scale.
Look at that!
I was like not ready. Why? Say why.
Because this is just a model.
What is it gonna make it?
It has to look deep.
I like some tusks.
How's that over here?
Natasha.
It's like a
You need to put more frosting on it.
Hold your horse, Jacob.
The chair is going from the lid.
Sounds like a married couple. We're not married.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Don't say that.
I won't say it again.
You better not.
Yeah, I did that.
Is that enough?
Yeah, that's a lot.
Oh, that does.
Okay, no more. Okay, no more. Oh, we gotta put the armrest on it. It's on right now.
So what are you thinking? Have fun.
You think that we are very...
So what are you gonna do when you have to sit in that chair?
Oh yeah, Brendan's gonna be sitting in this.
Think about that.
Brendan's gonna sing that, dude. You're gonna crush that thing, man.
I'm too tall for it.
I'm too tall for this chair. This woman's crazy.
Hold this one.
It's not good.
So this is one.
No, just hold it.
No, it's in Columbia.
Okay. Let go. Wait, hold these legs.
So imagine. This side. That's a lot.
This one can't stay, man.
What's your limit with the materials? Can you build this?
Pull it down, pull it down.
No way. Wait, Jacob. Hold the horse.
I'll let you know.
Open them all up and change
Every box. That's just weird. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm a
Don't touch it, don't push. Stop touching it. Just leave it. No, just leave it. It doesn't That's our seats, Phil.
Just to figure out limitations.
Dude, hold it. Why don't we just stack all of the cycles one by one?
Okay.
Make it like a
It's thinking of practicality. It's functional. It's fun.
like we should put them on a row like this. And all the get on it. And let it fly and then bounce.
Okay, let's do that.
Oh wait, no. I got an idea. Let's just make a couch. Like that. Right? And then like this. Bam, that's the chair.
Wait, what?
Then we take this.
Yeah, but
That's okay. Yeah,
yeah, but we have to break it. See, like,
Yep.
you have to break it.
We're gonna eat this after we're done.
Just want to eat them. I just want to eat them.
It's the
Designer's choice.
Wait, now I gotta scrape his optic. I call frosting.
Don't call all of it.
No, we put it to all of it. It needs like a
No, it's one of those light cards. You guys are just wise. I know, it's good.
Okay, get back in your own group.
Look around. This is Albert Einstein. Same as
This is like a. You're making a bench. You're making a. Okay. Is it like a king's chair? It's like a king's chair.
Nice.
This time when we finish ours.
No, you put on the.
Oh my god.
Because it won't fit on you.
We keep on adding things. We keep on moving it. Are we still on camera?
What would you do if you were to follow this? And you saw 3 flashes sit in. What do they represent?
Hold it. Let it like prior.
Bam.
We're done.
Yours isn't as beautiful as ours.
This couch. Couches are beautiful. They help you sleep and watch TV. It's still a chair in it.
Don't touch the table. It's right back. Slowly. Can we get a picture of this?
You guys made a table.
They went all out.
You made a couch.
So do you can build all these?
Let's do it. Nope. Yes. Nope. Yes. No. Don't hold it up. Back away. No. Hold it up. No. No. No.
Totally take out.
Oh, we have no more frosting.
We'll make a little picture.
Jeez. Then we should put. Yeah, let's do the little pretzels like around so it looks like she's sitting like up off the ground.
Yeah.
We made it. hide my face.
Feel like hot stuff.
Is that chair?
It's a chair. Can we eat it now? Can we eat it? Just a second.
You guys have a cool chair.
Explain to me, what does each material represent? You're gonna build it.
That's a gate.
That's the gate.
Okay. I'm gonna have it. And this is like a slide right here. And then this is like a cushion.
Is this like It almost reminds me of
You seem shaped by saying cute.
Can I take a picture of this? My phone?
Yes.
Can we eat it now?
No, I got eating left. I mean, I was told by accident. No, we gotta present it.
I'm done. We're done with that couch.
You're done with yours?
We made a couch. Jennifer,
So what does the materials represent? If you're gonna build in your life, what is it made of?
Well, these are those little arm-mounted things.
What are they made of?
No, and